Walter Hale was 72 years old. For 2 years he had been known only as inmate number 8940. His own son had sent him to prison for a crime he did not commit, a crime built on lies. Every month his son and daughter-in-law came to visit. They smiled behind the glass and acted like a loving family. Every month Walter refused to see them. Today he was free. The prison gate slammed shut behind him. Rain fell in sheets from a gray morning sky. Walter breathed in the cold, wet air. After 2 years of stale prison air, it tasted like freedom. He had lost 30 pounds inside. His old suit hung loose on his shoulders. But his mind was sharper than it had been in years. A silver car pulled up. His son Marcus stepped out wearing an expensive suit, smiling, but not at Walter. He was smiling for the cameras waiting nearby. Marcus pulled Walter into a hug for the photos. Then he whispered, low enough that no camera could catch it. "Smile, Dad. The shareholders are watching. Look miserable and I'll cut off your money." Walter said nothing. Then came Renee, his daughter-in-law, the woman at the center of it all. She held a baby wrapped in blue. "This is Leo, your grandson," she said sweetly, holding the baby out like a prop. Walter looked at the sleeping baby, then looked through Renee as if she wasn't there. He stepped around her without a word. The cameras caught it all, the old man refusing his own family. Marcus grabbed his arm. "Get in the car. You're embarrassing us." Walter simply looked at his son's hand until Marcus let go. Then he walked past them toward an old black car parked down the street. His lawyer and only friend, Daniel Cole, stood beside it holding an umbrella. As Walter got in, he heard Marcus shout after him. "You crazy old man. You have nothing. The house is mine. The company is mine. You're homeless." Walter closed his eyes as the car pulled away. "I'm not homeless," he thought. "I'm on a business trip. And I'm coming to take it all back." In the car, Daniel handed Walter a folder. Walter read through it in silence. His lake house sold. His watch collection, auctioned off. The company's pension fund, drained. "He's bleeding the company dry," Daniel said. Worse, Marcus had borrowed $12 million from a private lender called Meridian Holdings to cover his losses after a bad investment. If he missed a single payment, Meridian would seize control of the company. "We need to stop this," Daniel said. "We need to pay off that loan." Walter smiled. "We'll do no such thing." Daniel turned around, stunned. "Are you insane? If they take over, you lose everything too." "Daniel," Walter said quietly, "who do you think owns Meridian Holdings?" Daniel's mouth fell open. 2 years ago, Walter had quietly set up the company using money Marcus never knew existed. His son had borrowed from his own father, without knowing it. "I am the lender," Walter said. "I gave Marcus the rope. Now he's going to hang himself with it. But not yet. Let him think he's safe. Let him climb higher. The higher he climbs, the harder he falls." The gates of Hale Manor rose up ahead like teeth. Walter's fingerprint no longer opened the door. His own son had erased him from his own home. Then sirens. Police cars arrived, called by Renee, who claimed Walter was breaking a restraining order. An officer pushed Walter against the wall to arrest him. But Daniel ran forward with a document. "Read this," Daniel told the officer. "Walter's late wife left a clause in the property trust. He has a legal right to live in this house for the rest of his life. No one can remove him." The officer lowered his handcuffs. Marcus, watching from a balcony above, went pale. "Open the gate," the officer called up to him. The gates groaned open. Walter walked up the driveway alone, past dead flowers and a dry fountain, signs that no one had cared for his home since he'd been gone. At the door, Renee blocked his path. "You can't stay here," she hissed. "We'll make your life hell." Walter looked past her at the new red curtains hanging where soft gold ones used to be. "I see you redecorated," he said. "Good choice. The color of blood suits you." He walked past her into the house. Walter's old study, where he had built his company from nothing, was gone. The books, the desk, the leather chair. In their place, a treadmill, mirrors, and gym equipment. But it was worse in the storage closet. There, buried under boxes, he found the portrait of his late wife, Eleanor. The canvas was torn. Mold crept across the frame. Walter knelt on the cold floor and cleaned it with his own hands. "I'm sorry, Eleanor," he whispered. "I should have been here." That was the moment his anger turned into something colder, and far more dangerous. He carried the painting to the living room. Marcus found him there. "I thought we threw that old thing out," Marcus said, sipping whiskey. "Keep it in your room. We have investors coming tonight. Don't embarrass me." He tossed some cash onto the table, an allowance. Walter picked up the money without a word. "Thank you, son," he said calmly. "This is very generous." Later, alone in the study, Walter pulled out a small hidden microphone and pressed it beneath the desk where Marcus signed his papers. "Enjoy your party," he murmured. "Speak loudly. I want to hear every lie." That night, Walter put on an old tuxedo he found forgotten in a closet and walked down into the party full of investors and old friends. The room fell silent as he descended the stairs. Marcus rushed over, panicked. Renee recovered first, playing the sympathetic wife. "It's so brave of you to come down, Walter," she said loudly for the guests. "We were just telling everyone how hard the incident." Walter looked at her calmly. "That night on the stairs," he said loud enough for the room to hear, "when we lost the baby, was it a boy or a girl?" Renee froze. "A boy," she stammered. "Strange," Walter said, pulling out a folded paper. "The hospital records my lawyer found don't mention a baby at all. Just a burst cyst." The room buzzed with whispers. Investors exchanged worried looks. Marcus grabbed Renee and rushed her away, humiliated. Walter raised his glass to the stunned guests. "The food is excellent," he said. "But I'd stay away from the company's numbers. They're about as real as my grandson." Late that night, Walter listened through his hidden microphone. Marcus and Renee were arguing. "He knows," Marcus whispered, panicked. "He's guessing," Renee snapped. "He has nothing." Then Renee demanded more money, for a nanny, a doctor, security. When Marcus hesitated, she threatened to take the baby and leave, feeding a scandal to the press. Walter had heard enough. He crept downstairs and found Renee in his old study, trying to crack open his hidden wall safe, the one behind Eleanor's portrait. "It's not going to open, Renee," Walter said from the shadows. She spun around, terrified. "I was looking for my earrings," she lied. Walter stepped closer. "Were you looking for proof of your accident 2 years ago? The one with your trainer? The one on the motorcycle?" Renee's face went white. She fled up the stairs. Walter opened the safe himself, using a code only he would know, and pulled out an envelope thick with old secrets. "Tomorrow," he whispered, "the nightmare begins for real." The next morning, Walter took a cab across town to a rundown diner. There he found Claire, Marcus's first wife, the mother of his real son, Jamie. 2 years ago, Renee had framed Claire for an affair she never had. Marcus believed the lie without question and threw Claire and Jamie out with nothing. Claire was terrified to see Walter. "They said you were dangerous," she said. "I never hurt anyone," Walter said gently. "And neither did you." He told her everything, the fake miscarriage, the stolen money, the truth about Renee. Then he placed a check for $50,000 on the table. "I need a witness," he said. "Help me prove what really happened." "Not for me. For Jamie." Claire looked at the check, then at Walter, and finally nodded. "Where do we start?" "We start," Walter said, "by lighting a fire." Walter walked into his old company's headquarters. The staff let him through, most of them still loyal to the man who had built the place with his own hands. He entered the boardroom just as Marcus was trying to sell off a piece of the company to foreign investors to pay his debts. "Security," Marcus shouted. "He has no shares. No voting rights." Walter placed a stack of papers on the table. "You forgot about the employee ownership plan," he said. 15% of this company belongs to the people who actually built it. Mechanics, drivers, secretaries. They've given me their votes." The lead investor closed his folder. "We don't do business with liars," he told Marcus and walked out with his team. Marcus, furious, threw a glass across the room. It shattered against the wall. "You've ruined us," he screamed. "I don't want you to starve, Marcus," Walter said calmly, picking up his briefcase. "I want you to work. There's a difference." Walter and Daniel visited Dr. Reeves, the doctor who had signed the fake medical report that sent Walter to prison. At first, the doctor denied everything. But Walter had proof, a bank transfer from Renee, and a photo of a motorcycle accident from the night in question, taken hours before Renee claimed to have fallen down the stairs. Faced with the evidence, Dr. Reeves broke down and confessed everything. There had never been a pregnancy. Renee had staged the fall herself to get rid of Walter, who was asking too many questions about the money. "Write it down," Walter said. "Every word." The doctor wrote a full confession. That evening at a grand charity gala, Marcus stood on stage bragging about the company's bright future. At exactly 8 o'clock, Walter's plan reached its final stage. Every phone in the room buzzed at once with the same news. The company had defaulted on its loan, and Meridian Holdings was seizing control. Walter walked onto the stage and took the microphone from his stunned son. "I own Meridian Holdings," he announced to the room. "I am the lender you owe everything to. As of tonight, I own this company. And my son is homeless." Marcus lunged at him in rage, but security pulled him down before he could reach Walter. Backstage, Renee turned on Marcus completely. "You're pathetic," she spat. "I'm filing for divorce. I'll take everything that's left." "You're not going anywhere," Walter said. He pulled out one final piece of paper, a paternity test. "Leo isn't your son, Marcus," Walter said quietly. "He never was." Marcus stared at the paper, then at Renee, his whole world collapsing. "Is it true?" he whispered. Renee said nothing. Her silence was answer enough. Police arrived minutes later. Renee was arrested for fraud and extortion. Marcus was arrested for embezzlement and perjury. As officers dragged him away, Marcus fell to his knees in front of Walter, begging, "Dad, please. I'm your son. Save me." Walter looked down at him, at the boy he had raised, who had sent him to prison without a second thought. "I taught you everything I could," Walter said. "You failed every test. Maybe prison will teach you what I couldn't." He nodded to the officers. "Take him." Weeks later, Walter sat in his restored office. Claire, no longer a frightened waitress, but the company's new financial officer, reviewed reports across from him. "Jamie asked if Grandpa is coming to his soccer game Saturday," she said. "Tell him I'll be there," Walter said. "And I'm bringing the orange slices." The intercom buzzed. A collect call from Marcus in prison. Walter let it through. "Dad, please," Marcus begged over the line. "Get me a real lawyer. I need money. I'm your son." Walter listened. There was no apology. No mention of Jamie. Only Marcus's own fear. "I'm not angry anymore, Marcus," Walter said calmly. "Blood may be thicker than water. But it can also be poison. And when a wound turns bad, you don't keep it just because it's part of you." He hung up. The silence that followed didn't feel heavy. It felt light, like setting down a weight he'd carried for years. "Family isn't about blood," Walter told Claire. "It's about who stands by you when everything else is gone." He picked up his pen and got back to work. There was a company to rebuild, and, for the first time in a long time, a life worth living.